Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We had some technical difficulties. Cat turned off my computer.
And so, welcome back to Adventures in Initiative presents the In-Quy'zz-ition.
So let's do this real quick as a revamp.
This is the episode that's going to go up on YouTube.
Yes. Tabletop Audio, thank you for letting us use you. You are free for the public, and you make sound effects and cool music. You can hear them in the background right now. Secondly, Dadley's not with us today. He is currently busy. Some emergencies came up, so please keep him in your thoughts and everything like that. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone that donated to the charity stream this last week. We will be back to normal schedules. We have plans for shows to be able to come in during the holiday season and such like that. Look forward to tomorrow for a brand new show called Side Quests that we will have. It's going to be a smaller group, a lot of chaos, and just to help learn about the world of A.L. Eldon. But yeah. So when we aren't doing Crossroads, we'll be doing that. Anything else that I'm missing?
No, I think that's it. I think you covered it.
Last time.
So about 30 minutes ago, the lovely band of adventurers had just made their way to Agot's. Pachinko happened, shenanigans happened, a guild hall happened. They met a new happening called Abernathy. Abernathy took a step aside for the party to discuss a potential negotiation for the fast and safe instantaneous travel to Squag. And we rejoined the campaign. It's coming over. You're playing a tower defense game now. You just gotta make sure your computer
over and over and over again.
So, we will pick up in Abernathy's private quarters with our party members, or at least the ones that are present, having discussed options. Abernathy will come back in to the room upon request of Sundial. So, you watch as the fake bookcase, or the very real bookcase, fake door, slides back into the wall and locks into place. If you're standing in front of it as the door opens, you can try to sneak a glance into it before it closes, into what's behind it before it closes again. But most of you are still kind of in the sitting area away from that part of the wall. If anyone could, I think Sundial could, and yes.
Could I?
If you wanted to try and sneak over there and catch a glimpse, you could.
Okay. Would that be stealth or perception?
Let it be perception.
I have 10 feet of blind sight. Do I see anything like
21?
21. Blind sight.
Is there anybody in here that we can't see if I walk about?
You kind of just feel presences in your blind sight that you wouldn't see with your normal vision.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you don't feel anything like that or see anything like that in this room. It would appear that, is just a fairly regular office space.
Mm-hmm.
With a 21, you can look back and you can see in the back room that Abernathy is coming out of what appears to be a large supply closet / armory / ration storage. It appears to be a very large storage area, but with a 21 in the center of the floor of that room appears to be a large chalk outlined circle.
Do I recognize it from any of my mystic experience?
You could take a pretty fair guess. As to what it is.
Summoning circle?
Possibly.
Okay. Noted.
As the wall closes behind him again, Abernathy kind of steps out. So, I believe sufficient time has been taken for a potential agreement do we come to?
What is it that you want us to do? And like, I'm not even gonna let him finish his thing.
Well, I'm glad you asked.
I'm not agreeing to something that I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you asked. And he like walks over to the wall and he pulls down like a rolling canvas down from the wall with a pull cord, and on it you see like what appears to be several years worth of like marking and erasing and marking again on this canvas. And at the very top, the only part that has never been changed is current quests / adventures. And the board it has more than a few available, like kind of just sitting there staring you in the face. But Abernathy specifically points to a couple towards the middle of the list, in a section that he has labeled, at least temporarily labeled, local. And he says, well, I seem to have been having a little bit of trouble contacting one of our suppliers for our rations and our potable water for the adventurers that we send out on our longer quests. It appears that they have not replied to any of our most recent messages, sending opportunities, or written notes or letters. If you could go down to their local warehouse and see what might possibly be going on, see if you could get them back into contact with us, we would be more than appreciative. And else?
If they're dead?
Deal with what killed them. We can send out another agent there and alert the authorities if we have to, but the quieter it's kept, the better it is for them and us. We don't want... They are a supplier for more than just us. They're a supplier for the local businesses too, so if somebody has information that we don't, that would also be helpful if you came across it. What else? He claps his hands together and just kind of rocks back and forth looking at the list. And you can look at this list at the same time too, if you'd like, if there's one that jumps out at you. If anyone wants to take the opportunity to look at the full list.
Yeah.
Willow does.
Sure, I'll look at the
I have
list.
no interest.
Quinlan. Yeah, Allie doesn't. Yeah, that's all right.
Not
So
that
for
I
those of you looking, you see three basic sections. You see continental. You see global, continental, and local. Continental is the largest of which, because with Abernathy settling in In-Quy'zz and not being outside of and obviously having his home base set up in Agots, there's a lot of things going on around Agots that are considered continental rather than local, and some of them are just things like pest control in let me see, pest control in Krail, a possible business partner in Ook, diplomatic dealings with Hibiscus, like a couple of various things that the company or the guild wants to do with their time outside of the business. One that immediately jumps out to you is In-Squag itself. And it is marked, it's marked with like it's marked with a mysterious tag, like it has almost like tape covering it, like details of it, but the basic gist that you can kind of see as he's puttering about with some of the other local opportunities is that there appears to have been an agent that has gone missing in a dungeon close to Squag. And they want to send out a retrieval party, a rescue party.
A dungeon, you say? And retrieving somebody? So we're on a rescue mission? So
Is that Sundial in character, or is that just you?
That's me outside of character. If I
Okay.
go into character, it's monotoned, and I'm fine with that.
Right. Ah, okay, that'll be good.
Because he's just a fucking thing floating
Yeah.
in there.
But for those of you paying attention to him speaking as well, he says, "Oh, there's also the small matter of possibly taking down this, picking apart this rival guild's business dealings and bringing over more potential adventurers or cohorts to our band of brothers. Of course, we would like as much business as we can get, but
as Sundial, I'm going to ask, well, actually, first, are there any rewards to any of these?
There's a reward beside each, quest.
How much is it for the dungeon rescue?
The dungeon and the rescue in Squog is marked with 2 potential rewards. It's marked with either 500 gold pieces, 500 gold pieces and residency in the guild, or it is marked with 200 gold pieces and nothing else. And you notice that these are conditionally whether the agent that they're trying to retrieve is alive or dead.
Are you wanting us to do the dungeon one? And that's a Sundial.
He looks over to you and he's like, whatever do you mean? And you point. You point and he follows your point and he's like, I mean, it would seem serendipitous that where you are trying to go, there is also a mission over there that you could potentially clear out for us, that you could do, but I haven't had the heart to send any adventuring parties that way yet because I was too afraid of. And you see his face kind of set back into itself and narrow out to a neutral expression as he finishes the sentence, afraid of losing them.
If you double the gold, we'll do it.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Well,
we are putting our lives on risk.
And you don't have to worry about us coming back if we don't.
Can I make that a straight roll?
Allie's point doesn't help because if you're retrieving an agent, they expect you to come back.
Well, I meant if we die.
Yeah. We can at least
don't have to. Our lives are not on your hands.
And if we can get your agent out, and he can come back himself, if he's alive.
Dono, did you roll one of your dice first and one of your dice second?
Yet.
You haven't rolled?
No. I let them do
with your allies. With your allies' counterpoints brought forth, you can just make a straight roll.
Fantastic. I'm giving you a bad cat.
Oh, by the way, for those of you watching, if you would like to, there is still a channel point, a fun little channel point reward goal that you have in mind if you want to spend some channel points and interact with our Twitch. We have a list of fantasy change and fast food restaurants that would be added into the campaign after accruing 50 what are inspiration points on this channel. You can purchase them with some channel points down in your chat box. Currently, you are sitting at 17 out of 50 that are needed.
Okay. I rolled a 15 on the die, and I have a +7 in persuasion.
Jesus. You have a +7.
I'm a sorcerer, my guy.
Yeah.
Remind me to come.
They're
Remind me to come to you. Remind me to either come to you or not for future persuasion rolls.
So now doesn't he usually persuades to do extreme stuff, which he's doubling 500 gold. So yeah.
20. You said 22.
Yeah. Yes, 22.
22.
Abernathy kind of cocks his eyebrow in your general direction.
Like a stone, Sundial's face is straight and serious, because that's what he is.
He stares for another minute or two.
I love you. What?
Feeling oddly intimate.
Abernathy looks to you and says,
Zog, I think he's trying to take my sauce.
No, God, no. Abernathy looks to you.
Yes. Sorry.
And he's about to go into the air. Good luck, guys. Oh, all right, Brett.
Wow.
He looks to you. You lot seem either very brave or very stupid.
It's a bit of both.
And either way, I applaud you for that. Consider it a deal. And he extends his hand out to you, specifically Sundial.
He will take his stony gravitational pull and just pull it in.
Big stone hand just around his, and he's just as he's shaking, and it's just like
there's a little bit of scrap metal that's just there. It's like
strong grip. He lets go and he pulls back his hand, and he's just 1,000 gold for the safe return of our agent, which is the part that's been redacted for now. And he begins to pull it away. As he rips away the tape, it reveals a description of the person and the name of the person that you are looking for. It is. The name that is revealed is Hunter Adelbrecht. Hunter Adelbrecht Rangefinder. But you can see that Hunter has a comma after it, giving away that it would be a title rather than a name. Hunter Adelbrecht Rangefinder.
So Hunter's
you
the
need
title?
me to spell. Yeah, the title is Hunter, Hunter. The name is Adelbrecht, Adalbrecht, Rangefinder, Rangefinder.
There's a joke there, but I'm not sure how dirty I want to make this stream today.
Rangefinder?
No, I'm talking about anal. Anal breaker.
Why do I do this to myself? Damn you!
Title of your sex tape?
That's just gonna be your first thing that you say to him when we find him. It's like, hey, I'd like you to know that I love your sex tape. That's why we're here for you today.
All right. You see a description.
Oh, no. And that. What the heck am I doing?
You see a description.
Sorry, everybody. My phone just went off. Okay.
Oh.
6'1", blue and white plumage, long raven-esque beak, tuft of feathers sticking out of top of head, solid black eyes, white markings around eyes, dressed in what they report to be a set of hide armor, and wielding a heavy crossbow and 2 daggers.
Are they is this a Kenku?
It is not a Kenku.
Is it Aarakocra?
It is more similar to an Aarakocra.
Got it. Oh. All right.
And I will very quickly, just so I can remain consistent, make a note of what I just said.
Allie,
are you writing this down? Thank you.
Allie is perpetually writing in a little notebook that they have with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, canonically is
Yes.
always
It's like-
taking notes.
It's like you've got the notebook in one pocket and then the deck of cards in the other.
Yeah. It's literally what it is.
Yeah. Thank God you're sleeping. Okay, so
That was white around the eye sockets, right?
White markings around eyes, yes.
is it like a face of like a bird skull thing, or
He's supposed to be reminiscent. Over table, he's supposed to be reminiscent of a human blue jay.
got it?
Ooh.
Yep.
Alright.
So, you do not have a picture, but that is the description you are given with words.
Okay.
Got this.
Yes. Got this.
Sure, we can find him.
Question.
Mm.
Does this hunter have a response? Meaning, when approached by someone of the guild, do they recognize a specific phrase? I'd rather not get shot on sight.
You bring up a very good point.
Shay.
He reaches underneath his desk, and he like opens up a drawer and just starts rooting around. Eventually, he pulls out what appears to be a medium, well, a larger than normal sized coin, with that appears to be attached to either a long string. It's not a necklace because it doesn't attach to the coin twice. It is attached to a long string, almost like a trick coin that you would put into a vending machine. And he says, this medallion will signify you as, at least temporarily, a member holding residency within our guild. And the typical motion when approaching a guild member in distress is to lasso it around your head. And it will be ready for an attack at a moment's notice if you need it to, or it will be a signal to our fellow guild members that you are of our ilk.
Thank you. I just hold out my hand for it.
And you hold out your hand for it?
Yeah, I asked for it.
He was originally like about to hand it to Sundial, and then he looks to you like asking for it, and is like, gives it over to you.
I put it in my coin purse.
All right, you can add the Cambon's Hall membership token, or Cambon's Hall token, if you'd like.
Okay.
Cambon, Cambon's Hall token. In a pinch, it will do a D4 bludgeoning damage, and it has a range increment, or not a range increment. It has a reach of 10 feet when you're swinging it on the string. All right.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Well, I do believe now that we are in at least semi-amicable partnership with each other, it would be more appropriate if you could perhaps tell me your names. This guy seems a little scatterbrained.
Mm-hmm.
You seem to recall him asking for your names when you entered into the guild hall at first, but you're not quite sure either.
Mm-hmm. Who's gonna give their name?
My name
Allie
is
gave theirs.
My name is Allie.
Pleasure. Zog looks over and just very tentatively says, Zog, but you can call me
Hi, I'm
Ferryman.
Zog.
Zog, but you can call me Ferryman.
You fucking cool, man.
Hi.
Hi. I'll say I'm Sundial. That's
He
it.
looks at he looks at you and then looks at your like long crest and the ring around his like, and then he puts 2 and 2 together and is like, oh, clever.
What?
and he looks at you like quizzically and then moves on.
I'll look to Willow.
Hi, my name's Willow. Nice
The
to
pleasure
meet
is
you.
mine, Willow. He reaches over, smaller hand, shakes. Quite a
Wait, did this man pull out a smaller hand out of his pocket?
No,
shake
he
the
didn't
hand?
put. No, he as he goes for the handshake with Willow, his hand just like enters into like the space shrink type thing,
Mhm.
and his hand just becomes ever so slightly smaller.
Is
then
that
looks to-
normal for fairies?
Yes.
Would Allie know if that was normal for fairies?
You probably,
Would you know?
Yeah.
I'd say it's a toss up. Flip a coin for
I
me.
would say that she's probably seen it a couple times being around Willow for like the last
Mhm.
week on the boat.
You may have seen Willow do it. If this is your first time focusing on it, make a coin toss.
Okay.
Okay. Hey Google, flip a coin.
Heads are familiar, tails are not.
Tails.
You are not familiar. This is a new concept to you.
Okay.
Quinlan. Look at you. He's quiet.
Just
So
giving the judgy face and being
Yeah.
very silent and like almost intimidation stare. He's refusing to speak.
I'll go to gosh, his name's Jeremiah, right? Jebediah.
Abernathy.
Why the frick did I get
Jeremiah. Jebediah. Abernathy?
Who knows?
I'll go to Abernathy and just be like,
Yeah.
he's kind of quiet. And call him Q.
Q. That works.
Or
For our purposes.
Cutie.
Cutie.
No. Are we in need of anything to be able to dive into a dungeon? I've never been.
Well, I would hope that you are well equipped enough, considering that you came to me and then you asked me if you could do such a task. Normally, we provide our members with supplies, but considering you're coming out from the outside in, I would say that we can only offer you so much as rationing for the first encounter.
I look around at like all these different like little tricks and like gears and stuff that he's made. And I'm just like, can you make me a body?
I'm sorry?
All right, we're off to the magic shop. I'm just gonna
You
start
seem
leaving.
Well, you seem like, well, where are you going? And he's just like, it was wonderful to make your acquaintances.
I'm sure it was.
I
you
wish
have
for
a
your safe
question?
travels. Just come back here whenever you're ready to go to Squog, considering that's where you need to go.
Mhm.
Okay, and there.
I stay back for a second. I go.
Oh.
Same.
We will be back. We just need to prepare ourselves mentally.
Fair.
Yeah.
I
do
can
have
understand
a
a
quick
little bit
question.
of self-care before taking on an important mission.
Yeah, self-care.
Well then, anytime that you come back
Willow.
before that clock strikes midnight, and he points out the window to a very large clock tower, not in the center of town, but kind of off to like the center of town appears to be where like the large illusory advertisement. There's a beam of light still coming from that point, and like just off to the left of it, you see a large clock tower with a lit clock face, and you can see the numbers on it as the sun has already set a little bit in this space in this time. You can see that it reads Do you all understand how clocks work? You see that it reads about 4:55 pre-dusk.
We shall return before we are pumpkins. And I'm going to sweep out of the room.
I love that.
Okay. I did have a question for him.
He says, as long as you return any time before that clock strikes midnight, then we can send you on your merry way. All right. And then Willow.
What does a dungeon out here look like?
Well, it's quite varied, you see. Some people, some predecessors, built their habitations for specific purposes. Sometimes they were built for prison keeping. Sometimes they were built for storage. Other times they were just built in our own conclusions just for fun. Seemed like they would go down into these dungeons and have merriment among themselves, challenge themselves with puzzles and logic. Well,
Okay.
you know how a typical puzzle goes. I assume that you
Yes.
have come at least somewhat from over on our western half. Would I be wrong in making?
No, you are not. Well,
As
thank
much
you.
as much as you lot like puzzles, you might have a good shot.
All right.
Good luck, Willow.
Thank you. Goodbye. Whee! I just start flying away.
I think stream just died. Oh, is it just me? It's just me. Never mind.
I'm seeing it a little bit here. Give me a second. For some reason, my bitrate just went down.
Stream died again.
No, it
I
should
haven't
still be
had.
going.
Well, I lost it on my screen, but it could have just been me.
Check here.
Yeah, it says 15 seconds for me. I think it blipped again,
That's weird.
but we're back.
Channel. They're back up.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on today,
Well,
guys.
we're gonna need a very.
It's still the
basic...
same stream.
Oh, is it? And the
Yeah.
recording is fine.
Let me double check my. Yeah, it records what I have here, so,
So the
it doesn't
recording's
mess with the
good.
recording.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Every time I think the stream cuts, I think the recording cuts too.
All right. Just for some reason, my bitrate dropped like hell, like
That was weird.
down a lot, but it's fine now.
Quinlan,
That was weird. Sorry about that.
make a perception check for me as you're leaving.
12.
12. It seems like Abernathy takes a very special interest in you as he's watching all of you walk out the door.
After I do walk out, but after everybody leaves, I'm holding the door.
Mm-hmm.
I step back in.
Mm-hmm. You like lean back.
I step fully back in and close the door
okay.
behind me.
Oh.
Is there something I can help you with?
No.
You can tell
not
me how
really.
you got that ash.
Fuck you,
Okay, I'm done.
What?
Oh my god. He just looks to you and he goes, just looks to you. No, not really. Just seemed you were more hesitant than the others to give me your name. That's fine. I understand.
I don't quite trust you. If we're going to be completely frank.
Nor I any of you, if I'm to be completely frank. But I do like the balls on that one large fellow you had. Seems like he's willing to take a risk if it means that he gets something he wants.
Yes, most
Call
of us
it a-
are.
Call it a hunch. He just kind of like looks you up and down one more time, and he's just like, for your sake and for ours, I hope that all of you make it out of that place alive.
Indeed. Especially more for yours. And I turn and walk out. And before I close the door, and by the way, my name is Quinlan. Don't ever call me Q. And I close the door.
He stands there in contemplative silence. And as we pull back away to the crowd of the tavern, whoop, here we go. There we go. You notice that some more people, so that the liveliness has died down a little bit in the time you've been meeting with Abernathy. And as you step outside, it seems that the streets have gotten a little bit busier with the sun going down. But now, it is up to you guys what you would like to do next.
Magic store.
All right. Going on down to the magic shop. Woohoo!
Sure, this is a Wandies.
Sure, this is a Wandy. Oh boy.
You know what's hard? Is like getting magic items that are like dope for like spellcasters and stuff. I mean, like especially if like your players have like such random builds. There's a reason why like originally D&D said don't put a magic shop in your world, just like drop random magic items, because it's like then it seems more crazy, you know. But if you have a bunch of players that constantly get random magic items, then they're gonna sell them. Then you're gonna have somebody that has magic items in their shop.
That is true.
Yeah, I always have a useless magic shop when my players ask for it. It's like clapping orbs and balls of returning and stuff that has no actual use.
I have 3 of those in my current campaign because they keep asking for things like that.
Now they ask for an herbalism shop, and I'm like, you get you some cards.
As you make your way to the center of the city of Egots, heading towards this beam of light, it comes clearer into view what this building is. It appears to be a long, narrow A-frame building, just 2 walls kind of coming up and meeting at a point. And you see, like in the center of it, a large chimney stack with a light shooting out of it instead of smoke. And hanging up above the sign, it says Tinker's Trinkets.
Well, look around. It's like we going in.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's like, oh,
let's
for
go.
fuck's sake! And then he like walks in
Does
ahead
it
of
look like
you.
it's a 2-story building that's like the A-frame? Like it has like a high part.
Yeah.
And it's just like the baseline?
It's taller than like your typical A-frame.
How deep does it go? Can we?
As you step inside, you notice that it appears to stretch on for what looks like hundreds of feet. It could not have been this long looking at it from the outside, but inside it appears to just keep going onward and onward. Which more notably means that as you walk in, the front desk is right next to you. And as you kind of... Ooh, hello. As you kind of take a step in the door, you immediately look at your surroundings, and then from off to the side you hear, well, hello there. And you look over and you see what appears to be the man that you remember from the advertisement, the illusory image, still in his long nightcap. It appears that he has almost like a handlebar mustache, but there's a lot of fraying underneath it, so it's like gray. It's almost like an Einstein if it had handlebars. And a little bit of gray chin scruff underneath his bottom lip as well. His face is aged with wrinkles and crow's feet, and he appears adorned in it's strange. It looks like a human head on top of a robotic body, but like he still has like a human arm, one human arm and one human leg. And the rest of him is just kind of like a patchwork of what appears to be like, you've heard of Warforged parts and like beings made of metal and iron that think and breathe, well, not breathe, that think and live for themselves. Looks almost like a hybrid of that. And he looks to you and he's like, I am Tinker of Tinker's Trinkets, and it's wonderful to greet you to my lovely store. How can I help you out today? And he like, his head like irregularly kind of cocks and bobbles on its like, what appears to be ball joint that sets his head on the rest of his body. But otherwise, his head looks entirely humanoid. You can see that his head appears to be that of a half elf, but at this point, you don't think that matters so much.
I look at
and
him.
he just like looks to the rest of you.
Look at him, like, magic items. Where are they?
Say, that's one of the largest chunks of Lyramite I think I've ever seen. What are you doing getting up and walking around like you're your own person, huh? You seem like an odd fellow. What's your name? Name.
And he like comes over and you watch as he has like his human leg acts like a human leg, but he just has this one really long like metal, this like almost like a sword leg that just kind of like tank in like a rotating motion as he walks.
There are people in this store, right? Like
Oh yeah, there are plenty of people.
Okay, so like people are used to seeing this.
Oh
right.
yes.
I just look at him and just like, that's a lot of questions.
Think mutated human who hated his mutations and replaced them with robotic ones.
Dope. Actually kind of cool. Hi. Magic items. I'm Sundial.
Well,
That's
it's nice to meet you, Sundial. Dial.
And he like reaches out with both hands and grabs your arm, and he's just like shaking it like vigorously.
I drop that arm and I like turn, so he just has like just whatever was.
Your arm comes off in his hand.
Yeah, basically. And I
It's
just
just
make a
like-
new one.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Let me just
Fine,
put that
keep
back on for you.
And he like grabs the joint and just like puts it up to where it was.
Mhm.
Do you incorporate it again, or do you just let it drop?
So I just let it drop and then say,
Well, maybe
You-
for another time. So
uh,
sorry.
you just took my arm off.
Hey, I didn't mean to be that forceful. I just didn't know how
Just-
frail that body appeared to
Just show me where the magic items are.
be.
Well, look around. And he
Okay.
like gestures backwards, and there are like, you see that the main setup of this store is that the A-frame walls come up to a
Mhm.
point, but there are bookshelves that start from the ceiling and end at the floor, just lined bottom to top with magic items.
I'm also not gonna grow my arm back. I'm just gonna make him think that he took my arm off.
I approve
So
that.
there's just a random pile of rocks, and
Yes.
I think that hand had a dagger on it.
Yeah, probably.
So there's a random pile of like rocks and rubbish, and now a dagger laying in the middle of this floor. And you just like begin to walk away without it.
Yeah.
I'd like tow the rocks. See
I'm
if
gonna
they'll
pick up the
move.
dagger and pocket it.
Steal my shit. It's
is a-
fine.
I'm gonna give it back to you later, but right now, like,
Later, as in when you
Kudos.
betray me.
he doesn't steal it.
It appears to be a very rusty dagger. Sundial does not keep up with some of the metal on his body.
Listen, part of my damage is rust. Okay, that is. If you haven't been taking your shots, that's on you. Tendinitis is a bitch. Okay.
So
Fear me. I am tendinitis.
there is no organization system to this store. You see wands sitting next to armor, sitting next to what look like they could be very, very cursed items sitting next to a bag of holding. And it's like...
What is the mechanic for this room?
So the mechanic of this room is that you're going to tell me what you're looking for, and I'll tell you how long it takes you to find it.
I'm not looking... I'm looking around for something that catches my eye.
Oh, God.
So... What I'm wondering is, are you going to use one of the charts in the DMG that give you a bunch of random items?
Okay, if you're looking for something to catch your eye, then I'm going to actually ask you to make not an investigation or a perception check. I'm going to ask you to make a wisdom save.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
4.
4.
I am not very wise.
You're walking like
I'm
down
following
this
Sundial,
aisle.
by the way.
Okay.
Just to
Yeah,
throw that out there.
I'm in
like
there as
right
well.
with Sundial.
Okay.
I have no interest in the shop.
So
I'm
all
just
5
hanging
of
out here.
you.
Okay,
So all 5 of
hold
you are
on.
just kind of walking down.
I'm looking
this
for
aisle.
things that like are around, but I'm also looking for things that are like in locked cases and whatnot. Like,
okay, fair enough. As you walk, you notice, like, you ever been to an antique store? And it's just like there's that one vendor in the antique store who basically emptied out his garage and placed it onto the shelves for you to just like pick up things and buy them if you wanted them. That's what this place is like. There are daggers, there are swords, there are just random broken arrows and like ball bearings, tchotchkes, knickknacks, random pieces of garbage on these shelves. You swear you see an apple core on one of these shelves that actually looks like it's being sold. Like it has a price tag on it. One thing that immediately catches your eye is a box. There is what looks to be a case. The front of it is covered in acrylic glass. And it is locked up with a very sturdy looking padlock. There is also a price tag on the padlock. And behind this acrylic glass case is a full head to toe, helmet to boots set of shiny black plate armor. With random protrusions and spikes coming out of the pauldrons and and what appears to be like a couple of like textured bumpy bits for the arm guards. This is a mean looking set of armor behind this door, and there is a peaked helmet with what appears to be like a feather crest coming out of the back of it that comes down and like wraps around itself. This is like some real Black Knight looking shit.
all right.
You can make a note of that.
What's the price tag on it?
50,000. For the full set. It says for individual pieces, inquire tinker.
All right.
As you continue to walk, you come across what appears to be a sword that is 10 feet long. You see that the handle itself is about 2 feet long, and the rest of the blade extends 8 feet out from the hilt of the sword. You see the hilt itself kind of comes out and up into a couple more points. All along the length of the sword, you see what appears to be something written in a language that you may or may not understand. I really need to have y'all's languages like saved in a document somewhere.
Orc and
I know
common.
I know
Orc and
Celestial and Common.
Celestial, Orc, Common, Celestial,
Giant,
Primordial.
primordial, and Sylvan.
What was the first one?
Giant.
Giant, Primordial, Sylvan.
Celestial, Common, Sylvan,
Sylvan. Okay,
And-
so Orc,
Brudic.
Common, Primordial, Sylvan, Celestial, and Giant. Quinlan. This inscription is written in Giant. All along the back blade, and this is a one-sided blade, the other half is a blunt edge. But along the blunt edge is written the inscription, To those whose blood you spill, and to the friends whose blood you keep in their inside of their bodies. The really strange thing about this sword is that it appears that some of the characters have been filled, for lack of a better way to put it. They're a different color than the rest of the inscription.
Could I do a investigation to see if it's blood or grime?
No investigation check needed. It looks like a dark red pigment.
What did it say again?
Blood.
Huh?
What did it say again?
In giant, it said, for those whose blood you spill, and for the friends whose blood you keep inside their bodies. And the price tag on this sword, is 300 gold pieces.
And it's a long sword? Is it? Well, it's a massive sword.
It would be classified as a giant's longsword.
Okay.
You need a certain strength score to even try to pick it up.
Hey, do I have that strength ability?
It depends. What's your score?
I have an 18.
Maybe.
I'm not a fighter. I'm a sorcerer. I'm a little baby sorcerer. It's fine.
As you continue to walk, you also see a glass case, like a bubble case. Wood platform, glass bubble case, with a wand on the inside of it.
Ooh.
It appears to be very ornately wound wood around what appear to be 3 about marble-sized pieces of a clear gemstone, but 2 of the gemstones have what appear to be an energy roiling around inside of them.
Is the case locked?
It is a bubble. Do you try to move it?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to open it.
You grab onto the bubble case, you lift it up. Immediately, in only your ears, you hear a loud like alarm noise. It immediately like incapacitates your ears. You let go of the bubble case, it drops like back into its place. You cover them, and the noise stops. And you like uncover your ears again.
Obnoxious.
That looked cool.
I'm walking away immediately.
I would like to look at
Like, I don't want anything to do
what
with
does the
that.
wand look like?
Yeah.
It, like I said, ornately like.
Oh, I thought that was the container. Sorry. So an ornately wound
wood, coming to a very fine point. The handle, it appears to have a handle made of ebony wood, and the wound, like natural wood of the wand, wraps around what appears to be 3 marble-sized pieces of a clear gemstone. You might assume diamond, but the 2 gemstones that have energy roiling inside them stay otherwise.
Do any of these items have a description of what they are on them?
The common ones do.
I'm guessing this one does not.
It doesn't.
Okay. What's the price
the
on
way
it?
that this is set up is that if it has a name, then the name is on the price tag.
Okay.
If it has a description, the description is on the if it has like a common description, like a basic description, like you see a bag of holding sitting on the shelf, and it says bag of holding, and it says used for carrying a large amount of items, and it has a price of like 25 gold pieces.
What is the price tag on this baby?
On the wand?
Yes.
1,000 gold pieces.
Damn. Can I
Actually, no. Sorry. There's a 1,000 gold pieces, and it's scratched off really hastily, and now it's 670 gold pieces.
Cool. That's a
you can
bit
tell that
rich
that
for
might
me.
be attributed to the fact that one of these gemstones is no longer glowing.
Oh.
That's a bit rich for me. Can I find a cloak? Like, I want to find
a cloak.
Yeah.
See, you told me something that you might want.
I thought about it now. Okay.
All right.
Well, is there
a cloak?
And here's the thing. Anybody can like ask if they're looking for something. Willow, you said that you wanted to come here. Is there anything that you're looking for? And like, Trazhie, is there anything that you're looking for?
I was just along for the ride. I didn't want to talk to the shopkeep before we left, but I was waiting for that.
Fine.
I would like to find maybe another staff, walking stick.
Mm.
Maybe one that's kind of, if possible, like floral or death.
Staff or cloak? All right, now you've given me something that I can look for and describe to you in the shop.
I think Sundial's getting to that point where he's just like, people constantly ask him. He's like, oh, wow, you're interesting. I was like, okay, I think I need to cover myself up now.
Also, I would like a cloak.
You need to have like a
as well.
dedicated. You need to have like a dedicated like thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, here's a bunch of lovely looking cloaks right here. Let's start here, shall we?
Also, I think he might be interested in something dealing with like the stars. See if it might be connected to him because he has the dreams of the
Alrighty.
stars.
That's
Alrighty.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh. Well, Dippy's doing that. How are we doing today,
Yeah.
Clint?
Yeah, y'all talk amongst yourselves for
How are we
just a
doing
moment.
today? Now, I know we're tired, but have we had like an interesting week?
I just spent
Yes.
3 days at a conference listening to people talk about surface level education in a way that I already know and was very bored.
Did you get paid for it at least?
Yeah, it was a paid conference, but
Okay.
they didn't feed me because I'm on a vegetarian diet. So
Oh, no.
not great.
You just throw her
It's
some
okay.
broccoli. It's fine. Maybe some
They were-
carrots.
No, they were like, we're having hors d'oeuvres tonight. I was like, oh, good. You'll have like cheese and crackers. I can eat that. No, they had like spring rolls with shrimp in them and
Oh,
little like beef stroganoff bites. And I was like, all I ate was breadsticks. I was like, okay, this is fine. I'm just carving it up.
oh,
Caramel loading.
Yeah.
Oh, I would hate that.
But I did get to stay in a hotel, so that was nice. They
Oh,
paid for my
nice.
hotel.
that is
That's
nice.
And they had open bar 2 of the nights. So that was
Oh,
also very nice.
Even better.
Bread and open bar.
I didn't eat, but I drank.
Man, the next
That's
morning
not
must have
good.
been rough.
Oh,
Okay.
listen. Specs.
All right. As you're walking along,
Okay.
dispersed throughout
Mhm.
are various armor stands with armor stands that hold a couple of cloaks on them. For brevity's sake, you come across what appears to be a green elvish-looking coat.
Mhm.
You come across a coat that has two longer wings and then one a tail kind of coming out of the middle of the body of the cloak.
Okay.
You come across a standard looking blue and white cloak.
Okay.
Just pretty bog standard, nothing too special. And you come across one more that appears to be colored a deep emerald green, and you see like shiny displacement marks.
Mhm.
You see like shiny displacement marks along it.
Does this one? You said that this one is like black and it's displacing, like it's, or
It is not a cloak of displacement.
Okay.
My apologies.
No.
It is not that specific.
Okay.
It is a different. It is a
So-
different type of cloak.
it's shiny.
It is a shiny cloak,
Mm-hmm.
colored a dark emerald green.
Dark emerald green.
You see a filigree along the like hood line and like along the body line.
Mhm.
That would entail almost a dwarven origin.
Can I make an arcane check?
Mm-hmm.
Arcana check? Wow, it's been a minute since I've played D&D, you guys.
Been
Like,
a
it's
little
been
bit,
months.
hasn't it? Yeah, you
Uh,
go ahead and do that.
Okay.
And
And then
Willow.
go to Willow. Yeah, sorry.
Willow,
Yes.
for brevity's sake, you come across. What class are you, by the way?
I'm a druid.
Perfect. You come across a staff that appears to have several figurines stacked on top of each other in what appears to be like the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil type thing. You see a crooked wooden staff that has like a hand on one end of it. You see a literal, it looks like the root system of a tree kind of coiled and wrapping around itself, culminating in what appears to be a miniature bonsai tree as the end of the staff.
Ooh.
And it is currently like growing and like sustaining full foliage.
Okay.
And finally, you come across a wand. No, not a wand. A staff. It is just a plain, it looks like a long, plain-looking quarterstaff. The only difference is it has a frog tied to it on one end.
Can I just point this out?
Yes.
What if there is a wand in the store that is actually just a fairy staff that never came back to normal size? Think about it, Dippy. Think about it.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking
beautiful.
about it.
And it's a wand of enlargement. I'm kidding.
Wand of enlargement. Oh, I love it.
That's pretty good.
All right.
But
You got
also-
a 21 for your cloak.
Yes, I did. Okay.
As you
21.
gaze into it, noticing its color very similar to the color of your own core, you watch patterns like slowly like emerge in it and like disperse. And it continues that way as long as you look at it, and it seems to just flutter a little at the bottom. There is a strong magical presence in this cloak that appears to be from the transmutative school of thought. As you see, like the changing patterns, the changing like winds underneath its sails. This is not locked up in a glass case, but there is a price tag on it for about 125 gold.
I'll look at the shop owner. I'll call out to him.
Tinker, as you have been walking, I need you all to make remember the wisdom save that you made. I need you all to kind of like look up and make an intelligence save for me.
Okay. Intelligence save. That's going to be a 19 on my part.
19.
If
You like
this
look
changes in-
behind you. You look behind you, and you cannot see the end of the store that you walked into. You've been walking for that long. It is like a speck in your vision. Seems like you have wandered very, very far down the aisle. But looking to the wall, you see every so often you see a button in the middle of the shelf that appears that has the word call written next to it.
I'll look at Allie. Does
Big
this
block
look like my
official.
color?
He shows you a emerald green cloak with patterns of what appear to be. It's strange. You look into this and you see constellations. You see like specks of light in the specks of light appearing and disappearing at random intervals. You see almost like a future of possibilities lied out inside the depth of this cloak.
I really want to know what this item is. I'm not sure, but I like it.
I think that it would complement your glow quite nicely.
I've slammed the button.
You
While
hit
he
the,
does that, could I take a look at the blue and white one?
the blue and white cloak.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
There is a price tag on it for about 75 gold.
These cloaks are like, I mean, to a peasant, it'd be really expensive.
It appears to have a
Neither
it appears to have a
expensive.
brooch. It appears to have a brooch at the neck that looks like a shield.
Oh. I think I might know. I don't know.
You have a pretty good idea.
These descriptions are like so vague that I'm just kind of like, maybe I don't know.
The vague description I gave you is a totally new item.
Oh, okay,
the other ones,
dope.
I tried to give you descriptions of some fairly commonplace items.
Am I able to try it on?
It's not behind a glass case. You can try it if you'd like.
Yeah.
You just like put it on. This item requires attunement. You won't feel anything for an hour. It feels comfy.
Nice. I'll look at Quinlan. It's like it looks
It's
nice.
a
I'm
nice-
slamming the button.
You slam the button, and you hear like a. And not 5 seconds later, you watch as the floor beneath you kind of like flips underneath, and you watch as it. How do I describe this? The floor beneath you turns from a static floor to a moving floor, like a moving sidewalk in an airport. And it drags the entire line of shelves, as well as you, along with it as it begins to crawl its way towards the front door. And then you hear a couple of other patrons of the store go like, "Ah, come on!" And you like, as you can tell, that some people are quite annoyed at this process because the call is not for him to come to you; it's for you to go to him. In not but the span of about 2 or 3 minutes, the floor gently increases in speed and then decreases in speed as the shelf that you were looking at with this emerald green cloak turns into the end of the shelf. The shelf itself curves around and goes to the other side as you approach the end of the walkway, and Tinker just kind of like waddles over to just like the dink, 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 waddles over to the button that was pressed and was like, "Ah, so you found something that interests you, did you?"
Quinlan, can you talk to him for a second? Real person has to go use the panty.
Okay.
I also want to talk to the Tinker.
All right.
If that makes a difference.
So, you all found things that interested you, did you?
And we'll say, for the sake of this, you grabbed the things that you wanted off of the shelf before the call button was hit. Because otherwise it would have just traveled with the shelf to the other side. And you, so what are you all showing Tinker?
I'm gonna point at the cloak and go, "What?"
The cloak you're wearing?
Yeah. What is?
Ah, well, that cloak, it has a little bit of a strange property to it. You see, you put it on, and it makes you harder to hit. It makes you a little bit more dodgier, a little more.
But it's a cloak of protection. +1 bonus to AC when worn.
Makes you dodgier, quicker on your feet, and harder to hit.
Well, are we set at 75?
That is correct.
I'll take it.
Well, you, my sir, are a good dealsman. A deal's a deal.
And he extends his hand out for the payment.
All right. I'm gonna hand it over, count it up.
Yeah, you
and
count out
pass it on.
75. You can subtract 75 gold from your inventory, and you now have a cloak of protection. It'll take an hour to attune, but when you do attune to it, you can add 1 to your AC and saving throws. Willow. Did you have an item that you wanted to show, Tinker?
The
Of
staff,
these staves that I described?
the bonsai one.
Ah, well, this one I think would suit somebody of a nature-loving sort. Well, which is a little strange coming from someone who lives in the middle of the dumplands. But, you see, and he like kind of flips through a ledger of like the items in his shop, and he's just like, he eventually lands, here we go. And I'm just gonna go like, this appears to be a Staff of the Woodlands.
Okay.
You can find a stat block for that on page 204 of the DMG, or you can add it to your inventory in D&D if you plan on purchasing it. How much gold do you have on you right now?
263.
263?
How about
And so basically you have a couple of very fun nature-oriented spells that you can come cast out of this here staff for basically none of your own magical power. That will be 225 gold pieces if you don't mind.
That is a lot.
Can I have this one for free because you took my arm off?
Wait, what happened?
I look at him. Look at the cloak that I have. I'm just like,
Yeah.
Can I have this one for free because you took my arm off?
Oh, God.
Pull the hood down
they
over
do
my
say
face.
that it is sometimes an arm and a leg for the prices at shops. And since half has already been paid,
Are you sure that there's no way to reattach your arm? And he like,
100%.
and he like,
100%.
make a persuasion check for me, please.
Yeah? I'm... Okay.
Oh, God.
17. Not a 10.
17.
Yeah. Not bad, but, you know.
That's all right.
maybe a
Yeah,
little
that's all
bit-
right. He kind of looks to you and he says, I could perhaps give you a heavily discounted price.
What does this cloak do,
like
by the way?
He looks at the price tag. He like looks back to you and you're like,
I'm going to confuse him and fluster him with questions because he confused
What?
and flustered me at the beginning when I came in.
Do you
Making
you
it
take
so
me
he
for
just
some
says
kind of
yes.
fool, sir? Are you trying to con me?
No. No.
Well, all right.
and he goes on to explain. This cloak has a couple of charges within it that when you make a roll,
Mhm.
before you learn the outcome of the roll,
Mhm.
you can choose to either increase the result or decrease the result by 5. If you increase the result by 5, and you can do this with 5 charges in the cloak. If you choose to increase the result by 5, a lesser effect of your check is given to you. If you decrease the result by 5 and it still succeeds, a greater effect of the check that you were trying to make occurs. So let's say you're making an attack
Mhm.
and you roll like a 20,
Okay.
like a dirty 20.
Mhm.
If you add 5 to it to make sure that you hit, you deal less damage.
Okay.
This is like DM player discretionary.
But if I wanted to take
But if
away
you
5,
subtracted
it's like,
5
Yeah.
and it still succeeds, it would either deal increased
So-
damage or it would do like another effect.
it's kind of like great weapon fighting, but with also a
In that
negative.
regard, yes. In that
Okay.
regard, yes.
I like this. This is dope.
You can do that up to 5 times. The charges recharge after 1 week. They recharge on every calendar day end of week.
Okay.
So if you use all 5 in that one day. You get all 5 of them back the next day. I'll say, actually, no, that's too convoluted for this game. You're not going to be spending that much time. I'll say that you recharge 1 charge every day at dawn.
Okay. And I have up to like what, 5 charges?
And you can use all 5 of them in one day, but you only recharge 1 charge per day at dawn.
What's this item called? Wait, what's this item called?
The Cloak of Intertwined Fates.
Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna give it to me for free?
You did take his arm off.
That was one of my more interesting items that I was offering to people.
And you look down and you see the price tag on this cloak was originally 500 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
How much gold do you have on you right now?
I'd rather not say.
Just as like a benchmark.
Enough.
I asked.
I have
Willow.
enough. I'm just.
You have enough for its original price point right now?
Yes, but I also like because you said what was it, 150 is what it was dropped to or something.
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
You look at the price tag and the original price is like 500 gold pieces. What was your persuasion was 17?
Yes.
He says, I can offer you like a heavily discounted price. Let's say, I don't know, 125. Does that sound good to you?
Can you
I
drop
still
it?
have to make a little bit of money. Huh?
Can you drop it to 100?
115.
110.
112?
110.
If there was a way to put back on your arm, I would do it.
Deal. And he like reaches out his hand.
Okay. I will
You count out and
take
place
his hand with my other hand.
Okay.
Careful now.
And
Beautiful.
He very gently, like robotically,
Thank you
like
for being
shakes.
so strange. All right. I love being
You
a
count out
warforged
in
with
place-
no emotion.
You count out and place 110 gold pieces into his hand, and you now own the Cloak of Intertwined Fates.
Okay. Can I look that up?
No, it is a homebrew item.
Dang it.
I will have
Okay.
to send you details.
Okay. So I'll just add a custom item.
I'll add it. I'll text you the details on Discord after the session today, or maybe during the break. I don't know. But it is a homebrew item that I've been waiting to put into a game, let alone this game, for a good hot minute. And when you said you wanted a cloak, I finally was like, ooh, thank goodness.
Okay. So I have it.
So-
I have it in my inventory now,
Yes.
but it's not.
Yeah.
It's like actually.
You don't have any description of it. I'll give
Mhm.
you a description of it. You also kind of have to attune to it to get what like the whole shebang about this cloak. But you got a pretty good gist from what I described to you. It has a couple of other auxiliary effects, but I'll text it to you.
So I just looked at my inventory. Can we talk about how a magnifying glass is 100 freaking gold pieces?
Yeah. Because it's a very refined piece of equipment.
Yeah,
Okay.
magnifying glasses are very hard to make right,
Also,
let alone
why-
make at all.
Why
Yeah.
does my character have a magnifying glass?
Maybe you should have asked that question first. Yeah.
The fact that none of you guys asked that question just shows that you're worse than I am.
Willow.
Eh. Yes.
The Staff of the Woodlands?
So, okay. So, yes.
I said 225, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Was I carrying it? So it was much smaller.
It shrank a little. It shrank to about where it would go from your like head to toe.
Yeah. Would I be able to get away with saying, could I get a reduced price because it's so tiny?
Can I give Bardic inspiration? On a persuasion check for that?
Okay.
And just be like, yeah, I mean, tampered goods should get a discount.
Mhm.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, I'm giving you an
say
inspiration die.
this.
It's a 1d8 to add to your roll.
Okay, you have a D8.
Willow.
Make a persuasion check.
It's just a straight one.
Please.
This is for the Staff of the Woodlands.
Dippy, is this just a straight one? Or
Yeah, this is
Okay,
just
cool.
it's just a straight persuasion check.
You need to let me know if there's disadvantage or advantage so I can actually use my sorcerer ability.
True. So that is a 22.
22.
That was a dirty, like,
22.
30,
Tinker,
20 plus
having already been
2.
befuddled by Sundial's like arm falling off and his ridiculous request for the price decrease, but having to fulfill it because of it was his customer in his store. Now looking to you and seeing that one of the stabs on his shelves has shrunk to the size of a wand, is just looking at you and is confused. And he's just like, how in the world did you manage to do that? What are you people doing to the goods of my store?
Excuse me,
You're
sir.
gonna
Are you
drive me
blaming a
mad.
customer for something that's wrong? That
Ah, 40 gold, take it or leave it.
You said 40, right?
Yes, 40.
He said
Yes.
40.
I'll take it. Here. Goodbye.
Like, sir, are
You
you
just, like,
blaming the
flitter
customer
out of
for
the
your
s-
bad product? Sir, that is wrong.
I am
Get
going
out of
to
my-
follow Willow out, and as we're leaving, I'm just gonna go, are you kidding me? I could have gotten a reduced price on this.
I didn't think about it. You're a fake, for fuck's sake.
Quinlan was the only person who was paid full price for an item so
Wait. We haven't gotten Allie anything.
Yeah, Allie, did you
I
have
was gonna
anything?
stay behind when they left.
Can I,
Okay.
while I was looking for the cloak, look for like a deck of cards? For Allie?
Sure.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me look. Are there any other deck of cards besides
Yes.
the obvious one?
Yes.
There's one that is on my list of to get. So I was gonna ask him about that actually.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're gonna ask him, then I'm gonna say that my character didn't do that because I've already passed my time. So, Allie,
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right.
Pardon me.
So as you all
Tinker.
like walk out of the store, he like gulps, and you see it gets to like the bottom of his neck, and then it just stays there for a little bit until it like reduces back down. What might you be looking for?
Oh, nothing very important. Sorry about my companions. They are stingy with their money.
Yes, I can tell.
He took my
I can
arm off.
assure you, I am far more loose in my pockets than they are.
Oh, good. What might
Um,
you be looking for?
I'm looking for one very heavily sought after item, so I doubt you have it. Have you heard of the deck of many things?
I have. So has basically everybody in this store.
You don't
It's-
happen to have one, do you?
Are you fucking serious? And he like
I
looks
am.
to you.
Unfortunately, I figure it's better to ask and be told no than to not ask and miss.
This whole time, Tinker has had this really forced smile on his face. His smile drops to a neutral expression of like,
Young lady,
Mm.
I can assure you that if I were to get my hands on a deck of many things, I would not own this store. For one reason or another.
You'd be dead.
Well, only amateurs pull from the deck of many things, so it's probably
Exactly.
best that you
I'm an
don't
amateur.
have one.
Can't you tell? And he like
Well, I had hoped someone with a collection such as yours would. Do you happen to have a deck of illusions on you?
now that might be a little bit more reasonable. Let me look.
and he like pulls out the ledger again and just like
Let
me see. He walks over, tink, 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 shoves his sword leg into a slot in the wall, punk, and then, what's the word? He pulls a lever on the wall that brings down. It's basically he pulls down a wooden stick from the wall that acts almost like a sitting, like you would sit on a pole or like on a fence. And it is sticking out from this same groove in the wall that he has now shoved his sword leg into. And he urges you to sit behind him.
Okay, I do.
He he then pushes another button in the groove, and it starts to move. Like it shoots down the wall of the store, like ah. It's a very fast progress, and then he pushes another one, and it's just like, and you have to like hold on to the handle to keep yourself from flying off of it. And he's just like, it should be somewhere in this section here. And he like begins to paw through some of the stuff on the shelves. He like reaches up and climbs up onto the top shelves. And he kind of like and he like pulls down a deck of cards. Oh, I'm sorry, this isn't a deck of illusions. Would you care to take a look?
Sure. Can I roll insight on it?
On the item?
Yeah.
Or on him?
On the item. I don't really care about this man that much.
Okay, go ahead.
This is
25.
25. The vibe of these cards is immaculate.
Good vibes.
It seems as if these cards are designed to enhance the visuals of tricks that you perform with them, and as such, it is easier to cheat with them in a game. It is also possible. This is a standard deck of poker-esque playing cards. The notable difference is that on the faces of some of the royalty cards are faces of royalty from the past of the dual continent of Flim and Bogey. You see a couple of the Dutgraws in the places of the kings and queens. On the king of spades, you see the one-off dictatorship that took over the area for a period of 15 years. The Karloff dictatorship. You also see that Empress Helena Dutgraw II's queen card has a sword stabbed through her chest. As well as the king of diamonds and the king of clubs are the two latest rulers of the land, Ricard and Harold. And it appears that this deck is not so much magical in a deeper sense than it is in like the most superficial sense of the word. You can perform tricks with it more easily. You can cheat with them a little more easily. But on first glance, they're just like very beautiful looking cards too.
Is there a price tag on them?
You look at the back, and instead of a tag hanging off of the item like you've seen for every other item in the store, it appears to be a sticker stuck to the back of the box. And he's like, "Oh, this thing is that old?
It's one of those stickers
sorry.
that you have to like scratch off, and you can never get completely
Yeah,
off.
yeah, you can never get the adhesive fully off. This one is peeling back a little bit, and the price on this sticker is 20 gold pieces. But you see another sticker underneath it that you can see like just the edge of the number 5. So it would appear that this thing has gone down in price the last time that it got price checked.
I I would like to open the box and try to sleight of hand replace my regular cards with these cards and just swap which cards are in which box.
Your cards are tarot cards, correct?
I have a regular deck of playing cards as well.
Oh, you have a regular deck of playing cards. All right. You can try to make this a sleight of hand.
I would also like, this is just like a flavor thing. I want to prestidigitate that one of the candles nearby or torches nearby flares up to try to get his attention off of me. So I'm not just like doing this in front of his face.
Yeah, it was okay. Then, sure. What exactly do you prestidigitate? And then I'll let you sleight of hand check.
Is there a torch nearby? Because I'm assuming that this place is not being lit by magical orbs.
It appears that there's a lantern about every 20 or 30 feet.
I want one to like flare up next to another customer to try to startle them.
All right. So the lantern, you aim at a nearby lantern and you like just like really focus on it for a second.
And I go, it's quite interesting. And when I say interesting, I cast.
You watch the lantern kind of flare up like really, really brightly and really, really hot. There, a woman standing nearby just kind of goes, yeah, hey, keep your lanterns under control, Mr. Tinker. And Tinker is like, oh, I'm so sorry, miss. Let me. And he turns around for like a half second to just like adjust the lantern again. Go ahead and see if you can make your sleight of hand check. It is now
a 24. It's a 15 plus 9. My sleight of hand is my best skill.
Dippy, you're dealing with a bard, okay?
Yeah.
You would have made that. You would have made that even if you hadn't distracted him. So now you're just like literally.
And I get his attention.
Within your playing card box, you now inhabit a tricky deck.
I try to get his attention back. I'm like, I don't really think this is what I'm looking for, but perhaps I'll come back for it. And I hand him the box back.
So sorry for that, miss.
It's all right. Perhaps next time you'll have something more interesting
Dippy,
to show me.
Dippy, can I come back? Because I wanted to get Zog something.
They did travel like a ways down the wall. What would you? Is this outside of the store?
I'm gonna come back in, or I'm gonna be like, oh, I forgot to get Zog something, and I'll walk back in, and I'm gonna start looking for either a shield or helm, like a helmet or shield that he can be able to use.
Okay. Alrighty.
All right.
Let's see what we got going on here. Woo, baby.
You think he'd like a shield? As I look at now Willow, you think Zog would like a shield or like a helmet?
Yes.
Think he'd rock a helmet?
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Quinlan?
Maybe not the helmet.
No, maybe not.
He has
Well,
to be
there's
able
a-
to see.
Well, yeah, but he can see through the helmet, right? They've got eye things. Does that mess with your perception?
I don't know. I don't wear one.
You wear flowers on your head.
In another cursory look, only two come to mind. Only two catch your attention.
Okay.
You see one helmet that kind of is like on your head, covers the sides. There is a chain that covers the back. It covers down to right below the nose, and in the place of the eyes are two large green gemstones.
Okay.
And the other helmet that you come across appears to be a rather ordinary looking full plate helmet with a like lifting and lowering like facial guard. But on the side of the helmet appears to be a singular large symbol. And you can like turn it to the inside of the helmet, and on the side of the helmet where the symbol is, on the inside, you see another similar looking rune. or symbol.
I don't.
Right where the ear would be.
I don't know how heads work. Willow, help. Quinlan, how do heads work? Would this be uncomfortable?
I present my head for him to put the helmet on.
I put it on his head.
Which one do you put on his head?
I'm gonna do the one with the gear thing because that seems really uncomfortable. But you know,
The symbol?
Yeah.
All right. Helmet, boom, pops onto your head.
Mm-hmm.
The symbol on the side of the helmet immediately lights up. Quinlan. You hear a faint whisper. And you're just like, this is some rather tasty cheese. And it's like about and it seems to be like coming from like that direction relative to your head. You turn and you look. Nothing immediately catches your eye, but then you hear it. Then you hear it again. Seems like the farmer got in a nice batch of his usual cheese at the tavern today. I'm glad that I'm snacking on this. And you like lean down and you like kind of hone in to like just this one part of the wall that you put the helmet right up to it, and you hear, oh boy, I can't wait to try this with a cracker or maybe with some of that dumpster bile that I found a couple of roads down. It seems like a delicious treat.
Quinlan, why is your ear against the wall? Quinlan, are you okay?
And I pull back and I'm just shaking. And as I pull up the visor, I'm making
What's
that
wrong?
Okay. That's
So
a no.
maybe
You're
not.
hearing rats talking about loving to eat bile.
Ew.
Okay, I'm gonna put that one back on the head stand that it was on. I guess we're gonna go with
The
the shield.
helmet that you have just demonstrated perfectly for me is the helmet of infinite listening. You can understand any creature speaking any language, even languages that are not comprehensible by humans. And this this effect has a range stemming in a tight cone directly from the ear of 500 feet.
It's awesome, but definitely not something that I would give to Zog. So I'm just gonna be like, no, that's okay.
No.
And I'm gonna go look at the shields.
Couple of standard shields, couple of standard looking shields of protection. Just a symbol of abjuration on them that lets people know that it is basically designed to be a better shield. I'm dumb. I can't find what I'm looking for. Hello? What am I? Ah, here we go. And you also see what appears to be a shield with you also see this one is behind an acrylic glass case. A shield that appears to be, the front of it seems to be covered in a thick white substance that appears to be dripping down off of the shield, and the drips below it disappear shortly after they appear on the ground. The shield seems to be excreting it, like almost.
Acid?
For lack of a better way to put it. It is a white substance.
White substance? Is it like thick?
Do you want to try to open the case and find out? This case does not have a lock on it.
Oh, then I will open the case and look.
You open the case,
and
a very pungent smell immediately hits you of, it's like a weirdly like clean smell. Almost like an alcoholic clean smell.
I don't know what this does. These items are very weird. Should I just get him a shield of net protection? What does this do? Can I touch it?
What part of the shield do you touch?
I'm touching the creamy spot.
this substance is coating the entire front of the shield.
Yeah.
You put your finger up to you touch your finger to the face of the shield.
Yeah, I can get rid of a finger. It's fine. You
And
already took an arm.
It's just kind of like stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
You like, and the shield like comes with you as you move it, and it like, it's just kind of like stuck.
Oh, what
Willow.
happened now? Yes.
Willow, help. Quinlan, help. It's stuck.
Well, there's an easy way to solve this.
What?
You can get rid of your finger.
No. I want my finger. Sir. Sir. Quinlan, I'm stuck. Quinlan.
I'm gonna look for a release on the back.
Do you like pick the shield up to do this? It appears to have a double handle on the back where you would stick your arm through the first handle and grab the second one.
I'm gonna do that if I can.
Okay. You don the shield.
Mm-hmm.
Immediate disadvantage on stealth.
Looking on
for
the
a monk.
looking on the back of it, you do not see any buttons or levers or wires or switches or anything. It's just a very plain back of the shield.
Quinlan, help.
What about an inscription?
Quinlan, help.
You do not immediately see one.
Can I look for one?
Sure. Make an investigation check. Your finger, by the way, still stuck to the shield as Quinlan is handling it. You kind of like follow where Quinlan is inspecting it, and your hand is just like.
Here we go.
My troublemaker sense is going off for sure.
16.
Like, they're doing something.
It would be about this time that your conversation with Tinker would end, and you can, and he like tells you to get back on the broomstick, basically, to get escorted back up to the front.
I appreciate the ride.
No worries. And you have a tricky deck in your playing card deck.
Mm-hmm.
As you make it back up to the front, you see Sundial with his fingers stuck to a thick white substance layered on top of a shield, and Quinlan holding that shield, looking for something. Investigation check?
You just hear silently help. Please help.
16.
16. As you look under the lip of the shield, like on the inside where the metal kind of bends around on itself to form the cast of the back, make it stronger, you see an inscription in common. Of the name of the shield. This is the sticky shield. To release your grip, it basically says something to the tune of, to release the shield's grip on whatever it is stuck to, you have to speak the name of the object that is stuck to it.
Sundial.
Sundial.
Okay.
Your finger comes off the shield.
Thank you. I don't want to touch things anymore.
Good. We've learned a lesson, and I'm gonna set it down and slide my arm out.
No, I want to
shield
keep
back.
that though. How much is it?
The price tag of this shield is about 50 gold pieces.
We're taking it.
I'm gonna pick it up, and I'm just gonna slap it against him.
I start walking away with
And then-
Quinlan's
You have
arm in the
you
shield.
have as it like slaps against you, it is like firmly stuck to
Firmly
Sundial.
grasping.
But you notice, Quinlan, as you like do that, your grip on him seems to be stronger than his grip on you on it.
Mhm.
As you like smack the shield against Sundial, and then you like go to let go of it, you like pull it down slightly so that you can get your arm out of it. Sundial, you follow it.
Oh,
And you're a big, strong thing. You're a big, strong dude.
we're
Can
taking
I hoist him over my head?
You pick him up, Sundial, you go up over Quinlan's head.
I just go error, turn off, and it just
Wait, you go turn off?
Yeah.
Do you go into your stasis mode?
yeah, basically like trying to
core-
correct myself.
Yeah, the core shuts down and you drop. The core sticks to the white substance on the shield. The rest of the garbage and refuse around it now like falls away from the substance. Like the rocks and rubbish and metal and garbage and the ring and the crest all just kind of like fall to the ground beneath you. Quinlan, you have a giant Lyromite ball in stasis mode stuck to the shield. And it is like fluidly and perfectly following your movements with it.
You killed him. Man, what is up at the store?
Yeah, it's not coming off.
Okay, I'm gonna set it down at an angle and just say sundial. Softly.
You feel the grip of the ball on the shield loosen, and it just goes like lands on the ground. Sundial. You are no longer attached
away
to the
and tap him.
I will activate again. It'll just say error corrected. Thank you.
And you
Sorry
like
about
reassemble yourself in the middle of the store.
So I just look at Quinlan. It's like, we're keeping that, right?
Deepest apologies. It was a momentary reaction. And I go to hand it to him.
I will grab it from the inside. Actually, I'll just grab it with my orbital like pole. So it's like stuff's just floating.
Okay. You kind of like assimilate it into your pull, and it just kind of like it floats up, and it almost hovers over the crest sticking up out of your ball like a hat. It's very obvious that you're still like taking it, and Tinker like comes back to the front desk of the store and sees you about to walk out with it.
No, I'm not walking out with it.
Oh, you're walking to the desk with it.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
going to the desk. I'm like, I'd like to buy this.
What? You again?
Yes.
What did you? Oh,
Ice Bear would like to buy this.
you have taken interest in the sticky shield, have you?
Yes.
And I assume that you know what it does.
Affirmative.
Well then, I think we can come to a pretty clean-cut deal here. 50 gold pieces, just like the price tag
I
says.
slap it on the counter, breaking it a little bit.
Like the countertop like bends slightly underneath your grip, and he's like,
Oh. Maybe just like 2 more gold to fix that, and that'll be fine.
50, we agreed upon 50, and I leave.
perfect. So, Allie, you have a tricky deck. Quinlan, you have a cloak of protection. Sundial, you have the cloak of intertwined fates and the sticky shield.
Okay.
And no
Willow.
hand.
And no hand. And no right hand.
So I'm guessing I
Or at
can't
least-
look up Sticky Shield because that might be a homebrew.
Again, it is yeah, it is.
Okay, cool. So
I love implementing little homebrew items into my games.
well, you just
the
implemented
DMG
a
list
lot, so.
the DMG list is great. It's fun. It's also fun to just take 2 properties of 2 items and smash them together into one thing and just make a homebrew out of it.
Love it. All right.
Before
Props
we
to
leave,
you if you know what. Props to you if you know what 2 items I chose to mix in that little creation.
Okay.
Before we
So-
leave, can I pull a card from my tarot deck for the Tinker? I literally just pulled it. I'm just gonna pull one off the top. Be careful of transformations, my friend.
What
And
card?
I'm
is
gonna walk out. The Hawk Moth.
Oh God.
It represents death and transformation. I just say, be careful of transformations. And I walk out.
Tinker like looks at you, looks to his body, and you see him immediately break out into a sweat.
Wow, yeah, I didn't even think about that. I just pulled the one off the top.
That's fucking incredible.
Well, buddy,
I love that.
you're about to get a cyber psycho, my guy.
Have a good day. Hey. And like waves you out the door. And we are gonna take a break
Okay.
because that was a lot.
Yeah. Go break.
Be back in about 10-15 minutes. Bye.
Bye. Hello and welcome back. How we doing?
Hello,
today?
everybody.
Aloha.
We're back
All
at it.
right. That was a lot of magical shopping,
Mhm.
but we
Yes,
got
it
some
was.
stuff, and we're gonna go ahead and proceed forward. So,
Oh, chips.
as you, watch your cat. Watch your cat.
It's what I did to you.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Okay.
So, as you leave Tinker's Trinkets,
Okay. Sorry.
you go out into the town, and you notice that there's a semi-small gathering, kind of down the street, out in front of what looks like the public town square. You around where the clock tower is, you look up to the clock tower and you see that about 2.5 hours have passed, because you were looking for a long time. And you kind of all gather yourselves up. Is there anything you want to do before you head back to Cambon's Hall?
I would like to attune to my item.
Same.
All right. I believe
Does my item require attunement?
your cloak does.
Mhm.
Your Staff of the Woodlands, I believe, does.
Yep.
The deck is fine. The shield is fine. Rhys, your cloak does too. All of you can attune to your items. Another hour will pass. Is there something you'd like to do within that hour, other than idly waiting?
Twerk. But yeah.
You can go to a. Wait, did you actually suggest something, or was that
I
just a
said-
noise you made?
I said twerk.
Oh,
Well then.
funnily enough.
While Sundial is backing it up, is there is there a monk's temple nearby, perhaps?
There are a couple of religious gathering places. There appears to be a monastery to the. There appears to be. Okay, this is why I made the sheet. Hold on. There appears to be a monastery to the mighty Thomas nearby, as well as Gond. There is for lack of a better way to put it, there is a non-denominational place of worship, which is just kind of gathered around a central altar and some benches, some kneelers, some other places like that. As you approach it, you kind of do you follow a religion other than your own monastery?
Outside of the monastery, I don't think so. Let me double check real quick, but I'm pretty sure it's a no.
Do you have any you worship the Fey Courts as a member of the Feywild, at least in some capacity?
Very minor.
Very minorly, yeah.
It's
It's basically it's more in your blood than it is in your heart and soul. But as you approach, you actually notice a small, a glimmer of light, and then a visage of one of the symbols of the Fey Courts kind of appear above the altar ahead of you.
I'm gonna head over to that.
The image gets stronger as you approach the central place, but all it is an image. You don't hear any noises. You don't see any specifically Fey priests or anything in your presence. It just seems to have picked up on what you are and chosen the best symbol for you.
So it's racial
Ali, you said
profiling.
you follow. You see it. You said you follow a religion. What god do you ascribe yourself to?
I am a member of the followers of Bakab, the god of magic.
Hakab, yeah.
Macabre, yeah. Bocco.
OCCOB. Oh,
Boccob.
Bakab. Yeah, that's right.
Macabre, yes.
All
Call
right.
her Macabre.
As you like walk past this place with Quinlan and your friends, you see that same glimmer that Quinlan does, and an image of Bakab appears above the altar in the center of the gathering place. Again, it is chosen. It is like a programmed image that changes depending on who is.
It's
image-
corn.
It's corn. A big lump of cobs. All right.
I'm gonna call back to my cleric.
So, yeah, it's basically a programmed illusion where the program changes depending on the person. And whatever the person sees is the religion that they are most closely associated with. Sundial, you do not see an image appear above the altar.
I flip it off.
The altar?
Yes.
Nothing happens.
I do the same. Just right along with him.
Again,
I
nothing
flip out some shades.
Willow, you also see an image of the fake horse above the altar.
All right.
Didn't say it was a very good program, just that it was. So,
It's like the wrong fake court.
yeah.
I think this is
She actually, Willow gets an image of the central fake court, which harkens back to you a little too hard.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of like feel an ickiness, and you just kind of move along. Zog gets an image of Umberly and is just like, oh, cool, and then like moves on. Zog gets a tap on the shoulder. He turns around and he sees a courier. And the courier's like, excuse me, are you, Zog Ferryman? He's like, yeah, why? And the courier's just like, a message for you. And he hands him a bottle with a curled up message in it. On the outside of the bottle are the letters ZOG.
Zog. What is that?
I don't know.
I just got a letter.
I grabbed the mail
Wonder who
carrier.
it's from.
The mail carrier.
I just grab him by his shirt. It's like, what is it?
It's just like, I don't know. It's just addressed on the outside to him. I heard
You're useless, and I want.
person. Ah! He just like runs off to continue his deliveries.
Mm-hmm. Can I, while I had him in my arms, steal something?
Sure. Make a sleight of hand check.
All right, cool. Wow. Just gonna, do a federal
This is
crime here.
This is also before your attunement kicks in, by the way. Yes.
I
Yes.
didn't. It's a 1.
One. Natural one?
I just tear his entire bag open. I'm like, fuck
Yeah.
you.
You are like holding him in your arms. You're holding him in your arms. You set him down, and he like looks at you, looks to your hand, and you have like 7 letters in your hand, like not even hidden at all.
I'd like to send
Just
these.
Beautiful.
Good. He takes them back because I was already doing that. And he like places them in his pocket and walks off.
Carrier,
Hmm.
have you received any mail from New York City by chance?
And he kind of looks in his bag. Looks at the name on the front. Are you Thomas McBarnes?
Yes.
Make a deception check, please.
Hey Thomas, how's it going?
Oh, that was a nat 1 for a 5.
Nat 1.
Ah,
Can mine give them advantage? Because I said hi, Thomas.
No. It's a good touch, but no, it doesn't give them advantage.
I'm obviously I'm smirking when I say this. Yes.
5 or a natural 1. He like looks to you and the Thomas McBarnes shows you the front of the envelope, and there is a portrait of Thomas McBarnes on the front of the envelope who looks nothing like you.
I mean, I am a master of illusions, and I changed my cloak, which is fancy right now. I changed it to like dusty and drab.
Is like shaking his head, puts the letter back into the bag, and is just like, nothing for you, I'm afraid. And
Fair.
he like,
what is your postage before you scuttle off? How much is postage in the city?
a copper a mile?
Oh, that's too expensive. Okay, never mind. Goodbye.
Thank you. And he like turns around, and goes back.
It's like 30 gold if you want to go to the other side of the continent.
It's too expensive.
Yeah, a copper a mile. So, so a silver is 10 miles. A gold is 100 miles. Yeah. It's an area that he kind of surveys.
Mhm.
Couriers do that.
I'll just go find a pigeon carrier instead. Like,
Also, by the way-
it's cheaper that way.
Also, by the way, Sundial just did all that math in like a second.
Yeah, pretty much.
Also, the fact that he knows like between the distance of one side of the continent to the other is like semi-impressive.
Mm-hmm. And strange,
that's pretty cool, dude.
but accurate.
Mm-hmm.
More on that when we get into Sundial's potential story.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Whenever
So
we get to it, you know,
whenever we get to it. So
we gotta go kick the shit out of this dungeon first. So
Yeah.
you find yourselves kind of at the outside of like a breakfast nook as the last 30 minutes of your attunement take place. Well, not a breakfast nook, like a supper nook,
Mhm.
like a dessert place, like a donut shop.
Donut shops.
what is it?
You mean
what is a
college
donut-
dinner?
College dinner. Yeah.
What does a donut taste like?
Delicious yumminess.
What is delicious yumminess? And I'm just gonna start asking this question.
But no,
It's
haven't had one.
It's a silver for a box of donuts.
Let's
Of
get
like
it.
the plain donuts. And you just kind of like pick it up. You now
Can I-
have a dozen plain donuts.
Can I get these
Yeah.
more deliciously made?
If you want to make them if you want to make them chocolate glazed, it could be a gold.
Do it if you want.
Sure. And I just
We'll
hand him the
spoil
gold.
you today.
I'm not eating any of this. This is all for everybody
Grabs-
else.
Grabs the box of plain, gives you a box of chocolate glazed for 1 gold.
1 gold sold for imaginary donuts.
Yes.
Because our
You open it up.
characters deserve it.
You open it up and
Yes.
it's these donuts. You know how donuts are typically like, yay big?
Mhm.
These donuts are like yay big.
Oh.
They are,
Okay.
this is like, this place is known for the big donuts.
Good.
And they kind of like are in 2 stacks of 6 donuts.
Mhm.
You just like take off the top one and the glaze of the one below it just kind of sticks to the one on top, and it's just like this double-sided chocolatey messy goodness, and you just take a bite. Except you, Sundial, you kind of like take one and you like take
I'm
one and you
sad
like
right
hold
now,
it up.
actually.
Now hold on. You take one, you hold it up to your form, and you get this feeling kind of like this tingling sensation in your like core,
Mhm.
and like almost an aroma of like this chocolate and dough, but you can't taste anything. You like smush it against your orb and it intensifies the feeling, but now you just have like a donut stuck to your core.
Sundial is sad.
Eventually, Eventually, you see that bits and pieces of the donut like kind of dissolve against the core. They like heat up and harden, and then the donut like falls away. The aroma and the feeling was all right, but you didn't taste anything. Everyone else, though, it's like that really soft, airy, cakey donut. Like, very nice. So the rest of your 30 minutes pass, all of your attunements kick in, and you make your way back to Cambon's Hall. The time on the clock strikes about 9:17. It is nighttime. It is dark. The lights on the inside of Cambon Hall have lit up, and there is much raucous enjoyment and merriment. Here we go.
Willow, Quinlan, Allie, I have a goal in life. I will have a mouth.
Okay.
I want to be able to taste things.
Your goal is to become mortal?
No, I just want to be able to taste things. Am I not mortal?
Would
That's
we
to
be
be
able
seen.
to?
Have you died yet? You'd only know if
Good
you're mortal
question.
if you have died or near died.
Is it possible for an orb to have an existential crisis?
Clearly, you're having one now.
Dono,
You're welcome for that.
make a charisma
and I'm
save.
sorry.
Okay.
Well, is there a spell out there that could change him?
Maybe a polymorph?
24.
Maybe.
How much?
24.
24. You keep it. You catch the
you
thought. You catch
Put
the
it
thought.
down below.
Yeah, you catch the thought. You see it. You internalize it. You keep your cool. You're calm. You're fine. But deep down, you're screaming.
The core of this orb is screaming currently.
Yeah, pretty much. So, you see Abernathy kind of like doing a little bit of like a group circle dance in
It's a jig.
like
It's a
jig. He's doing a little jig in like the group of
He's
this.
dropping like it's hot. He's twerking a little bit. Got a sweet young thing.
I
is up
could
on her
not
lap
even
and just-
imagine Abernathy twerking.
That'd be
That's a
terrifying.
weird thought.
Ah.
Oh God. But he like finishes up this jig and like the song ends and he like looks around, people clap, and it's just like wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Oh, my good friends, you have returned. And it
Yes.
seems you have bought items. Fantastic.
I hit him with the shield. I'm kidding.
We have
I love
we have acquired items.
even more daring. I love a good pre-delve shopping spree. Now, let us get down to business, shall we? And he says, if you'll excuse me for a moment, gentlemen, ladies, others. And he, like, stands up and saunters over to the same door that takes you into his back office.
Yes.
And puts you in the same back office. He's like, now, as I mentioned earlier, I can only provide you with drop-off rations. But I am willing to provide you with Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Let's go. And he snaps out of like a miniature zone out moment, and he goes over to the back door and pulls on the same book from earlier. For those of you who would like to, you can make a perception check in this moment to see if you can catch a glimpse of the book that he grabs.
Absolutely.
Yes.
A passive 20 would not get me this. would
Passive
it?
20? Passive 20 would be enough.
Okay.
Perception? I think I rolled.
This is just like a very quick, like, See if you can remember this.
I got a 20 as well.
20.
Got an 11.
11.
Man.
A 7.
7.
Woo!
The Fae
Sundial and
are
Alley.
way too they're just getting down. Fucking
Sundial
Quinlan is
and Alley.
breakdancing in the middle of the floor.
It's more like the insight of like looking at
imagine.
what the spine of a book says while it's still vertical and he's putting his hand over it and the wall is moving in the process. You catch a glimpse of the title of the book and it says how to effectively lockpick walls.
Oh, I've read that one. Also, I like to imagine that like Willow is doing the floss just while flying.
Yes.
Flying flaws.
You know, she's a fairy.
Oh
Pardon me, Abe.
Remember to floss your teeth, kids?
Yeah. Pretty much. So the back wall opens, and the same sight that greeted Allie when Allie snuck a peek greets the rest of you. A storage closet, lots of rations and basic arms and armament. You see a couple of like symbols and cloths and various like sundries, you know. He hands your group specifically, all the 5 of you, he hands you a burlap sack with what feels like about 5 pounds worth of individually rationed pieces of food in it. And he says, "This is our first parting gift from us to you." And he hands it off to like you, Sundial.
Okay, I hand it to Quinlan.
You hand it to Quinlan.
Oh yeah, by the way, I have regrown my arm at this point.
Okay, as you were walking along, so this is an interesting thing. As you were walking along, gathering up like material to rebuild your arm, the normal like seabed rocks and like crumpled up like metallic scrap iron trash that your arm used to be made out of is now replaced with smoother, more refined, like chipped off pieces of like brick and concrete, like mortar. And a little bit of natural organic material makes its way into your arm as it comes to a point where, as you were walking past, I'm actually going to roll. I'm going to roll something this session for once. Hey, look at that. Where's my D20? There it is. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. That's a random encounter number. So, just by chance, as you were walking along, you managed to pick up a statue's hand that takes the place of your hand. And then you're like, you break like the seams of the other fingers on the seams of the fingers on the hand, and you like move them around, kind of like a bionic hand. But now your hand actually looks and feels like a hand. A stone hand, but a hand nonetheless.
At that point, I just look at Quinlan, and I'm just like, look at this. And make it look like I just broke my finger.
Yeah, he pulls it back, and you see a magical force like binding the finger to the hand as he pulls it back. But it looks like he really just bent his finger all the way back. Ugh.
Pretty cool, huh?
Freaky.
I can just be like, Quinlan is just mortified. It's just like, pretty cool, huh?
Outside,
first-
cool and calm. Inside,
Yeah. There's this momentary.
What? He like Quinlan looks at his own hand.
oh no.
Well, considering I know someone who can actually take their thumb and do the whole bringing it all the way back to here this way,
I only do that.
and then can bring her finger back and bend it to where it can touch here.
Oh God.
Super jointed hands.
No.
So I know what this is like to see that in person.
So the
Oh my
recognition
God.
was honest, right there.
Imagine that.
Oh God! All right, so that
As
happened.
Abernathy escorts you into the like pulls the rest of you into the room, the wall kind of shuts behind you. And he begins to attack. No, I'm kidding. So
slap his face.
yeah,
with a
let's
sticky
go.
shield.
All right. Yep.
Making it so he's blinded because he's just got a shield on his face.
Oh, by the way, if you're attempting to If you're attempting to stick a person onto the shield who is not willing, it is an attack roll.
Okay. Like a shove.
Yeah, like a shove. Yeah.
Can I attempt to copy the magic circle into my notebook
Ooh.
to sketch it out? You
You
say
could
no.
get
I'm
a
just curious.
you could get a really rough sketch in about 10 minutes, which is not what he's giving you right now.
Okay, fair enough.
So he's like gathers you around in the room, and he like just begins to speak one more time.
Hey, before you send us, how will we be returning?
Wait.
I would rather not hoof it back.
If our agent Edelbrecht is alive, he will have a quicker form of transport than walking.
And if he is not?
I'm afraid you're on your own.
Fair enough.
Unless you can convince the kind people of the Squog Archives to lend their transportation circle on a return trip.
Oh, easy enough. Thank you.
Okay.
You got 2 crews.
But they
my guy.
they have only been kind enough to let me send you in. Sending you back out would be a whole nother negotiation with them, which I wish you luck upon. And he like opens up a book in his other hand, and he just begins to like wave his hand around, beginning the incantation to activate the teleportation circle on the floor. As you see kind of like this chalk outline now with runes on the inside of the outline, attempt to travel around the circle. You just watch as it lights up like one after another, and it's loading in. And he says to you during the somatic incantation, "I wish you great luck on your journey, my friends. Let us hope that you may return in one piece, not only with our agent alive, but with yourselves alive. I have a good feeling about you, and I would very much like to make your greatest acquaintance again sometime in the near future." And he just like continues to light up the circle. Is anyone doing anything before the circle fully lights up?
I'm really tempted to just flip him the bird.
Can I pull a tarot card? See if I can wreck this man's day too.
Yes.
Do it.
Father, sleep. I'm just like, make sure you lock your doors tonight.
He opens one eye to see the card, and he's like, "Duly noted." And he finishes off the somatic incantation, speaks the verbal incantation in Draconic, and you watch as the circle, You watch as the circle flares open, and you watch as the ground on the inside of the inner circle changes from the cobblestone interior floor of this storage closet over to almost like a marbleized wooden floor, like petrified wooden floor. A light coming from the inside of this circle where the lighting has changed from the inside of the closet. And he looks to you as the cylinder rises up for you to step into and says, "Good luck!" And you all have 1 round to jump into the portal.
As Sundial runs into the portal, he will say, "Fast travel acquired." And
Yes.
Okay,
and then just jump in.
anyone else?
I'm glad I don't have hair to get singed. Step through.
For some reason, I want to say cowabunga. Cowabunga!
You like fly in, just like fly in. Quinlan? Zog is just kind of like, This is one of the coolest things I've ever done. And he like steps inside and just like waves around his hands and arms around as he's doing it.
I'm just gonna leap in after, do a spin, and as I'm facing him, as I fall down, just double birds.
Yeah.
And a scowl.
Just the cylinder closes behind you, and Abe has just stood there like what a strange bunch. And that is where we will end tonight's session. We will pick up next session, hopefully with Zog, in the Squog Archives. And we will see you next time. And until then, your adventure matters. Roll for your initiative. Goodbye. Bye.